Megaprojects usually don't go according to plan. In some of the worst cases, mistakes can lead to costly repairs that can put the project billions of dollars over budget. Stats show that a whopping 98% of current megaprojects face cost overruns and major delays that can make them up to 20 months late. The projects we're going to talk about in this video are the worst offenders when it comes to expensive mistakes that almost led them to being shut down entirely. From bad materials to terrible planning, let's dive right in and find out what made these megaprojects so messed up. Berlin-Brandenburg Airport. We'll begin with Berlin-Brandenburg Airport in Schödefeld, Germany. Construction began in 2006 with a plan to build an innovative and high-tech travel hub with a capacity of 46 million passengers per year. The project was given a budget of about $3 billion and expected to finish by 2011. But hopes for the airport were just too good to be true. During construction, it became obvious that the project was going to blow its budget, and it was mostly because of major construction flaws. Poor planning, project execution, management, and corruption were all uncovered once the airport was examined, leading to lawsuits. Major safety and connectivity issues kept the airport from opening, leaving the project in limbo. All of these issues led back to one major mistake. Those responsible for the project were trying to do way too much. It was found that supervisors and builders simply lost track of everything that was supposed to be done concerning the airport's complicated infrastructure, leading to many loose ends and poorly constructed components. By 2016, the project was inches away from bankruptcy before the EU reluctantly agreed to provide billions more in financing to finally finish the airport, which had been 10 years in the making. Berlin-Brandenburg Airport finally opened for commercial traffic on the 31st of October 2020, an astonishing 14 years after construction started. In the end, the total cost of the airport exceeded $10 billion. But the airport hasn't quite overcome its hurdles. With post-pandemic challenges, long security and baggage lines, and a high operating income, the airport might be one of the most costly in the world. Coca-Cola Sinclair hydroelectric plant, Ecuador. When Ecuador set out to build one of their biggest infrastructure projects, they needed a little help. Construction of the Coca-Cola Sinclair hydroelectric plant began in 2010 with a hearty $1.7 billion loan from China. China has invested over $1 trillion in projects in other countries as part of a project launched by President Xi Jinping in order to boost global trade and earn China some money. Ecuador would have to pay back about $125 million per year in interest. But they took the loan, believing it would eventually pay off. In total, the project was given a $2.7 billion budget, with construction wrapping up in 2016. But just 72 hours after the plant opened, problems started popping up. Thousands of fissures and microcracks were found in 8 distributors, as well as defects in various shafts and bolts. Signs of these problems had actually been spotted 4 years earlier during construction. When reports were submitted, it was found that the machines had arrived at the plant with thousands of fissures already present. But attempts to weld the pieces did not fix the fissures. A thorough assessment revealed that portions of the power plant would need to be deconstructed completely to fix the issues. Today, the machines still have cracks, and distributor number 6 is completely deformed. While the full extent of the damage is unknown, it's been estimated that over $1 billion would be needed to fix the faulty pieces and get the power plant running at full capacity. If that's not bad enough, erosion caused by the plant has destroyed parts of Ecuador's largest waterfall, caused an oil spill, and destroyed the village of San Luis. Thanks to subpar materials, the Coca-Cola plant has become one of Ecuador's biggest challenges. Flamanville Nuclear Power Plant Unit 3, France. Speaking of faulty materials, France has its own issues with a major power project that just couldn't meet expectations. Flamanville Nuclear Power Plant in Manche first came into service in 1986, but in 2007, construction began on a third reactor at a cost of $3.5 billion. It was meant to launch in 2012. So what happened to France's nuclear dreams? It started when various safety problems were raised at the site, and they were right to be concerned. In 2017, a mechanical problem with a fan caused an explosion, though thankfully there were no serious injuries or any radioactive leaks. The mistake ended up being traced back to the quality of materials. Assessments of the plant uncovered weaknesses in the steel used for the project. It was also found that there were 110 defective welds that would have to be repaired for the reactor to work properly. Repairing the welds alone is expected to cost over $2 billion. Now the reactor is more than 10 years behind schedule and only expected to fully open in 2024. It's also incredibly over budget, with an estimated total cost of $20 billion. With all the project's bad luck and material mistakes, it's possible it could experience even more delays before construction is through. Highway 99 Tunnel, USA. Now let's have a look at the mega project responsible for breaking one of the world's most expensive pieces of equipment, the Highway 99 Tunnel project in Seattle. When a 6.8 magnitude earthquake damaged the Alaskan Way Viaduct, it was decided it should just be replaced completely, as it was nearing the end of its lifespan anyway. In 2009, all parties agreed that a tunnel was in order. The project was given a budget of about $3 billion and an 8-year timeline. In 2013, an epic piece of equipment arrived all the way from Japan. Nicknamed Bertha, this massive tunnel-boring machine traveled for 3 weeks across the Pacific Ocean to begin its work digging the 1.7-mile tunnel that would replace the viaduct. Bertha weighed more than 6,700 tons and cost $80 million. But just 4 months into its process, Bertha's cutter head hit a steel pipe. It quickly began overheating and had to be shut down. Thus began a challenging and costly repair project that would set the project back by 2 years. The incident was investigated and it was found that the major mistake made was a lack of communication between parties. The construction workers should have been warned about the presence of a pipe during the dig. While all this assessing was going on, Bertha remained stranded 120 feet underground. Eventually, crews had to make their way down to Bertha and hoist the 2,000-ton cutting drive to the surface where it could be repaired. Finally, in 2017, Bertha finished her monumental dig 29 months after the project's expected end date. In total, the cost of the Highway 99 project was about $3.3 billion, with about $300 million in cost overruns coming from Bertha's collision. Now the tunnel will always be known as the project that broke the world's largest tunnel boring machine. San Francisco Oakland Bay Bridge. Let's end this video with an iconic project, the San Francisco Oakland Bay Bridge. The bridge dates back to the early 1930s, so it's no surprise that it's had to be repaired a few times. But there have been many incidents and structural issues concerning the bridge that, despite its landmark status, it had many critics calling it a catastrophic flop. For starters, the Bay Bridge was designed to survive seismic activities. But in 1989, an earthquake caused a piece of it to crumble. A lot of repairs had to be done to the western section of the bridge, such as replacing problematic rivets with steel bolts. But the most major mistake made concerning the bridge is actually an expansion project. The eastern section was found to be too expensive to repair, so instead it was completely replaced. The replacement section of the bridge was finished by 2013 at a cost of $6.4 billion. But despite all the time and money that was poured into that expansion, it ended up full of defects. Investigations found cracks in the foundation, brittle support rods, and questionable steel. In 2015, 2 contractors were fined $8.5 million each for installing faulty anchor rods that were supposed to protect the structure from earthquakes. Botched sealing jobs allowed corrosive salt water to seep into the bridge's shafts, further weakening 424 of these rods. By cutting corners, it seems the entire expansion barely improved the bridge's strength, if at all. The bridge's capacity also didn't increase, therefore causing zero improvement to traffic. Now experts are saying that the new bridge is one of the most expensive mega project failures ever, and that it could be even more prone to damage from earthquakes than the old bridge it replaced. So, we want to know which of these mega projects do you consider the most colossal failure? Let us know in the comments down below. Thanks for checking out our video. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more of the biggest mega project wins, losses, and everything in between.